It's October 8th of 2025, and you can accept your greatness today. You've moved into a place in your life and in our world where you'll start to recognize your greatness because that is who you were born to become. That is what is within you. And there is an organization of energies that are telling you today that today might be the time that you want to accept your greatness. It could have been challenging for you because that is what happens as we move through life, as we move through our lives. But this time in our lives, in our world, is a little different. It's a little more challenging, but you'll also discover that that is why you're here. And you'll also discover that that is a good reason. There's a good reason behind it because sometimes we don't move and accept our greatness until we somehow feel pushed. And you may be feeling that as I have been feeling it. Because when we hold back from who we are, that is when we haven't accepted our greatness. Now, there are many reasons that we will do that because we have to move through our evolutionary trauma, our biases, our thoughts, our whatever came before in our lives or whoever came before us. That is how we evolve. And then we discovered that we are meant to do something really unique. We're meant to be different. And you might have found that challenging during these times as well. But I understand that because I hid from myself my entire life, most of my life. I was afraid. I didn't understand why. Why am I going through all of these challenges? Why am I having all of these difficulties? And you may have felt that way about a lot of your life. And I'm telling you that it was worth it. What I mean by that, whatever it is that you are going through now or have gone through, it had purpose and meaning. Now, I didn't accept that. I didn't accept it last year because last year on this date, I received another message from Wilhelm that said that our lives, we could change our world. Well, that is what's happening. We are the ones, but we have to change ourselves first. And that is what we each discover. And it's the same thing for us individually, but also our world. The world evolves and we contribute by how much we decide that we're going to accept our greatness. And the thing that happened when Wilhelm gave me this information, the main goal, the main idea that they said is that they wanted everyone to understand they had worth and value because we were going to be moving through some challenging times in our lives and in our world. I didn't accept it or believe that. And then it began being shown to me, which is exactly what will happen for you. We will have hindsight and then we'll kind of understand things that were in front of us or in our lives that we couldn't see before. But that's also how we evolve, and it's purposeful. But sometimes it'll be completely different, and that's what you must accept as well. It was challenging for me to accept because now we're moving through this generational change, and you're probably doing things differently than your parents or your grandparents or even those in your family. You're doing something different. You're supposed to. But accepting that can be uncomfortable because we have to move through our own barriers. It's just our fear of ourselves. And I've lived it, so I do understand it. But obviously, that's what my life was meant to bring to this world now, is a way for you to accept your greatness. Because I couldn't do that before. But you will find that the things that you couldn't do and that you decide that you're going to move through, that's going to be your legacy. And that's what you will leave for everyone else. We have to acknowledge we don't live forever. I'll be 75 November 2nd, so I do understand that it feels that we have this urgency, but we probably feel that most of our lives. And that's only because we haven't accepted our greatness. When you go to Any Advice for Today, I put something together because I really want you to have this. It'll help on this day, and you will begin to understand Wilhelm's work, which I really couldn't explain before because it was different, and as you are different, And but now we're at a place where you accepting yourself is going to be so, so vital. And this is the message. And I put together a couple of questions, because what will happen is as you answer the questions, you'll understand more. And this is how I would receive information every single day. But I'm going back to 2008. And you can see on this day, this message will probably make more sense for you, and you'll probably understand it. Every soul had a particular agenda before incarnating into physical form. That is meaning, if you can get into your head the idea that you were born for a reason, then things start to change. But that is also a journey, and you will see that every year something new was given to help you on that journey. The only thing that is ever required of you is your willingness to be happy. We probably aren't doing that because we haven't learned it. We've talked ourselves out of it. Whatever that programming has been, that's what has happened. Or you come to the next one. Tears are good and aid you in transition. Sometimes we get afraid of our fears and our tears, and a lot of us are having that now as we're moving through higher dimensions of understanding. That's really what's going on. So as you go through each of them, you will find the information. But there's something else I wanted to give you, and I put it here in the front. Um, I've never studied astrology. I've never looked at any of that. But I do understand that we are all energy. And that is the thing that we all come to understand at some point. But Wilhelm gave us something different. And I'm saying that because I couldn't have known that I had done this. Every year they're giving me information on the same date that was building upon itself. And this is what caused me to heal through all sorts of things that I couldn't understand. So I've had so many illnesses. I've had so many challenges. And to be able to see now that the information that I was receiving from Wilhelm was actually the thing that was causing it to change, that was causing me to heal, which can do the same for anyone, which can do the same for you. And that's why I wanted you to have that. We have moved into this little energetic portal, which I could not have told you I knew anything about that because I didn't, but Wilhelm did, and that's why the information was this way. One thing that I must say, when I started doing this, I had in 1989, I had no idea what it was going to do for me or anyone else. You have something like that as well. We all do. Just depends on when we're going to start developing it. I've done all sorts of other things in terms of trying to find myself and develop whatever was there. But this changed everything because I couldn't have found this information any other way. And you have something like that as well. But what my goal now is to give it to as many people as who want to move into this higher state of consciousness, the higher state of understanding themselves, because it's only about your programming and only about using the tools we have available, which are the understanding neuroscience, number one, but using cognitive behavior training. And that's what Wilhelm was doing with me, because they were breaking every single limiting idea and belief that I held about myself. And you will see that in these messages, and you will see how they built over time, because we don't understand or change overnight. The thing about, 30 days we can change anything, that's not true. I had to do a lot of investigating to find out, no, that wasn't true. And that's why we feel like we failed sometimes, because we haven't reached that place of understanding who we are or what we have. And sometimes the timing is different. The timing for me was today. You'll see that in this document. That was the alignment for my life and what I was meant to do. And I'm saying that because you have the same thing. You have this alignment, something that's opening up within you now. And this information will help you understand it. And so that is what I am doing now, where I resisted understanding how I received this information or what Wilhelm had given me. I can no longer do that because I know that it can guide any person to experiencing their greatness and knowing who they are, where they don't have to struggle or suffer as I did, because that's what I went through. And then I hid and didn't want to own myself, and I never want to see anyone do that, because that is what is moving through our world right now. And we can't go into that place. It's about you accepting your greatness, and that is why you're here. Please enjoy this. Please check out the work, the program, because that is what guides you to the place that you want to be in your life, and that is what my life has been. See you soon. Today is the day, October the 8th. See you soon.